Getting your home ready to sell can be an overwhelming process, can't it? There's so much to do, so much to think about, it's really hard to know where to start. Today, I want to chat with you and give you a few tips and tricks that you can use to get your home listing and show ready. Putting in a small amount of effort and money in preparing your home for a sale can increase the price people are willing to pay and lead to a faster sale, which is certainly what you want, is it not? Let's get started. Tip number 1, and definitely, I would argue, one of the most important, tidy up your bathroom. Remove all the toiletries that you have on display because they just might make anybody a little uncomfortable. That's that private thing that nobody wants to admit that we all do, but we all do, so, you know. But nevertheless, put them out of sight. Invest in some new white towel, and no, you don't get to use them. Just make them look nice, white, and pretty. You can visit Winners or HomeSense for some affordable accessories, including simple things like a soap dish, toothbrush holder, anything else that looks a little bit nice just to make the bathroom pop a little bit and look fresh and clean and no toothpaste hanging out on your toothbrush holder. Things have their proper place. Things like if your toilet seat, shower curtain, or bath mat are starting to look a little bit iffy, or if they have a bit of a smell, consider replacing those as well. Tip number 2. Declutter and clear your basement as much as you can. Whether your basement is finished or it's just a storage area for your extras, invest the time to make it as spacious and clean looking as possible. You can take the opportunity to offload the stuff you'd never use. This is a great reason to go through all your stuff and get rid of the stuff that you just never touch. The scale that you hate and that you hid in the basement so you don't have to look at it. Get rid of it. That shelving unit you insisted you would use for your china or books or whatever else that you wanted to put on display and make things look nice and regal in your living room but didn't end up happening? Ship it off. Anything that you can get rid of that doesn't have to go to a storage locker, or maybe you can make a little bit of money off of it. Or you can put it in storage and it just might need to go to the dump. Just really depends on what your plan for all that stuff is. It is a great time to go through your basement. Your living room. Wash the sofa, the chairs, the rugs, hide the magazine rack because it looks a little bit cluttery. Tuck away any wires from your TV, stereo, speakers. Essentially, the idea is to make it look as show-worthy as possible. So you know the photos and videos you see of houses that look like they've popped out of a magazine? Well, it's not always possible to make your own home look like that. Getting as close to it as you can is always a great idea. Sometimes paint touch-ups or very light renovations can be needed, so a fresh coat of paint was one of the cheapest ways to freshen up your home. You would be amazed what a different color can do to a room. Bold colors are often a turn-off, for example. So to be safe, go with light colors to help brighten a room and to help make small rooms look bigger. Regarding your closet and storage areas, unfortunately, kind of like your basement, all that stuff that you don't want to display can't just be crammed into your closet. It's not like when you were 5 and you just cleaned everything by hiding it all under your bed and in your closet. And of course, your mother. But you insisted that your room was clean. Of course you did. But buyers will be nosy and open your closets. Some of them might even peek under your bed. Buyers can be strange. You don't know what they're going to look at. Even your kitchen drawers aren't safe. Your cupboards, anything that they can peek into, they probably will. So make sure that you take the time to pack away anything that you don't need in the immediate future. Maintain your backyard. What you can accomplish in the backyard will, of course, depend on what time of the year you sell. Spring, summer, clean up the garden, trim the trees, cut the grass, clean your patio furniture and your barbecue. In summer, people have an expectation that things are going to look nice and pristine. In winter, it's a little bit more difficult and more allowable for your garden to look a little bit scraggly and a little bit full of branches and weeds and all of that. But still do your best to make it look presentable anyway. If you have a garage, tidy it up. If your roof has moss, consider cleaning that as well. Your floors, sweep and mop into all the corners and cracks. If your floor needs a little TLC, there are some great products out there to help make them shine again. In the same concept, make sure you get your carpets clean. Unless your carpets are brand new, you still want to make sure that you have them steam cleaned or do it yourself. It makes quite the difference. You would be amazed. Get your windows clean. Like anyone else, me, you probably don't get your windows clean as often as you should, and not just the inside. Rain, snow, and other elements can make your windows look pretty dirty. Consider hiring a professional for any tough-to-reach windows. Make your home smell good. A big turn-off for buyers is a smelly home. If you have dogs or a cat, while you may not smell it anymore because you've gone nose blind, I guarantee you that your buyer smells it. Tuck the litter box away, wash any couches, beds, surfaces that either of them sleep sleep on. Consider lighting some candles or an aromatic diffuser, animal safe of course, let's not forget that, to make your home smell pristine and ready for buyers to look through. Finally, make an extra set of keys. You know what? I think I lied earlier. I would consider this the most important, and here's why. Prospective buyers and their agents will need an extra set of keys to achieve access to your home. It is not recommended that you be present during showings. It has a tendency to make buyers uncomfortable with viewing your home. Consider yourself for a moment. If you were looking around at a new home and the seller was just hanging out watching you, or even if they're in another room just sort of doing their own thing, you're still kind of uncomfortable because you're actively in someone else's home looking at their things while they're there. It's not a great setup for someone to actually want to buy your home as a result. Talking about that particular topic, if you have tenants, same thing. If you have a showing scheduled, please make sure that your tenants are not there. Please. Very brief story time. I had a showing once upon a time. The tenant was there. I did not know. This was not my listing. I'm not sure that the listing agent knew. I was taking a buyer around. We found out the hard way after we were inside that the tenant was present and indecent. To say my buyer and I were horrified is an understatement. We both kind of ran out of the house, eyes saucer wide. Needless to say, my buyer was no longer interested in that particular property. It's a funny story now, but it certainly made a lasting impression, and not in a good way. So if you're a landlord and you have a tenant, or if you're a seller and you like being present or walking around in your undies, maybe consider making that not a thing. Finally, do a deep clean for your home. While you can do this yourself, certainly, a professional cleaner will get all the spots that you might miss. The baseboards, inside the lights, the fridge, etc. While this might seem an unnecessary cost, consider the time it saves you for not having to do it yourself and the quality of the job that will be done. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, you can use any or all of these recommended tips to help get your home in selling condition. Please consider checking out my other video on the top 5 neighborhoods in Chilliwack BC that you might consider living in once you get here. Have a great day, stay safe, and see you next week. Bye!